Natalie, who runs the mindfulness meditation on a Tuesday, runs this throughout the year. And some of you who have been here before, noticing that perhaps haven't seen this configuration of the chairs. There's a puja on tonight, a very special event, and that's the reason why it's set up like this. So normally, for those of you who are new tonight, normally the chairs are in rows facing the front. So takes a little getting used to be looking across, but then again, if we have correct posture, there won't be any need to be looking directly across at other people. One thing that I would also like to mention is that we have a lot of cushions at the back of the room. Think that if one is sitting on the floor, sometimes it does take a bit of practice to really find the position that kind of works comfortably, for 30 minutes or more. And my suggestion is perhaps if you're going to stay on for the second session and you're not feeling comfortable, feel free to go up the back and grab another couple of cushions. If you're sitting cross-legged, it's a good idea that your hips are actually higher than your knees. Again, that takes a little bit of adjustment, but by sitting on more cushions may mean that your knees are lower and therefore will feel more comfortable over time. How I sit here is not how I see anyone else sit, but it's how I sit, which is really like kneeling. And just to let you know, I've got 3 cushions, and occasionally I'll have a 4th if they're a little flat. So one can experiment with that. And I always say too that if anyone is sitting on a chair and wants to try sitting on the floor or vice versa, then you're welcome to shift. Welcome. Welcome to Buddha House. Welcome to this beautiful Gompa. And Gompa means a meditation room. My name's Hiro, and I'm one of several facilitators of Learn to Meditate here at Buddha House. So for those of you, I know there's at least one person who's new tonight, and there may be others. Learn to meditate classes aim to provide a meditation experience. Anyone in the community can be comfortable with. And meditation is a practice, it's a journey. So the things that we tend to focus on in Learn to Meditate, usually in the first half of the session, is really to just find a way to get comfortable and to relax and to bring oneself into the present moment enough to feel like you're here now, letting go of the kind of worries and troubles, the problem solving that the mind does, all of those kinds of things. So one of the things that we also do at the beginning of the session is set an intention for ourselves or motivation. So in order to make that clear, just think about what has brought you here this evening. See from that whether you can set an intention, what you might hope to get out of the next 50 minutes. And we begin by checking our posture. I'll run through this briefly, but also just been reminded of the fact that we will be finishing a little earlier this evening because of the special event happening tonight. So let's begin to check that our spine is upright. I invite you to imagine there is a string of pearls attached to the crown of your head. It's gently pulling up your crown ever so slightly towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And as you do that, you may notice that the back of the neck elongates just ever so slightly. The chin dips down just a little, maybe draws a little closer to the throat. You may wish to close your eyes. Often useful to close your eyes, especially if your mind is very active, very busy. Excuse me. Going forward, it's something worth experimenting with, to allow the eyes to be slightly open. One way of allowing that to be comfortable is to find a spot on the floor, perhaps, couple of meters ahead of you. Kind of half close the eyes. And soften the gaze. Allowing the tongue to be relaxed. And it can be helpful to place the tip of the tongue up against the upper teeth, just between the palate and the beginning of the teeth, just to gently rest the tip of the tongue there. This can help to reduce the amount of saliva that is produced in the mouth. Again, something that can help avoid distractions going forward. Just feel the weight of the body being drawn down to the center of the earth. Just sense the weight of your clothes. The weight of your arms and hands, touching your body. Contact of your pelvis with a cushion or seat. And the contact of your feet, or the sides of your limbs, with cushions, floor. And now let's allow our senses in another series of opportunities to shepherd your attention to the present moment. Any sounds, or listening to silence. Movement of air, the gentle breeze of the movement of air. Sense of smell. Possibly taste. Bring your awareness, if you don't feel sort of overwhelmed by that arises in the mind, just see if you can notice thoughts as they unfold, sometimes cascading over one another. There may be images, memories, bodily sensations may arise and to your attention. So the idea is to kind of allow the natural flowing of these experiences as they arise. An invitation to allow them to pass by. We will begin a scan of the body, just focusing on any contraction through the holding of muscles, and an invitation, if they're able to soften, to allow them to do so. So bringing your awareness to your forehead, and temples, either side of the eyes. And the eyes and the eye sockets, all the little muscles around the eyes. Moving your awareness to the jaw. Just noticing any clenching of the teeth. And an invitation now to invite a softening of any of the clenching, holding, allowing tension to flow down through your head, torso, your limbs and feet, flowing down into the earth. Bringing your awareness to your neck, back, sides and front. Moving your awareness to the top of the shoulders, the top of the arms. Moving your awareness down through the upper arms, the elbows, forearms, hands and fingers. Just noticing any tension any clenching. Inviting any muscles ready to soften, to do so. Allowing tension to flow down through your limbs and your body, way down to your toes and into the earth. Now moving your awareness, your chest, your ribs, sides of your ribs, and your back, particularly the upper back and around the spine. Just noticing any discomfort in these areas, any holding, inviting a melting of any tension there. Allowing it to flow down through your body gently. And into the earth. Your awareness to the center of your body, below your ribs. You may notice the gentle rise and fall of the diaphragm, or maybe not. You may notice the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. Is there any clenching or kind of contraction around your stomach, in your intestinal area? Moving your awareness to your lower back, often a place where discomfort can be possibly pain. Allowing any contraction that can soften now to do so. Allowing it to melt down through your limbs and feet. And down into the earth. Now moving your awareness to your buttocks muscles, your thigh muscles, your knees, calves, and feet. Noticing any holding, an invitation to soften any holding of muscles, letting them go. allowing tension to flow down through your body and feet and into the earth. Just be aware if your mind has wandered, which it will, and with kindness shepherd your awareness back to your body. Using sound, the air movement, sense of smell, the gentle light. And if as a result of relaxing the body, there's sleepiness arising, when you notice, an invitation to just very gently just roll back your shoulders ever so slightly, your chest to open up a little bit, bringing your body upright again. And if the head has dropped down, just imagine the string of pearls at the crown of the head, drawing your head. Again, if the mind has wandered, kindness, just shepherd your awareness back to the present moment. Mindful awareness of being here now. And if you're aware of any discomfort in your body, maybe something that you need to manage in your life, and with the next breath, just bring that breath to that area or areas of discomfort. And with the next breath, bringing in more oxygen, a slightly deeper breath this time, bringing in the breath to the whole body. And allow the breath to be released slowly and gently. Now we're going to take a very, excuse me, a short break to stretch if we need to. You may wish to stand up and just move your feet. Stretch upwards. Maybe rotate the body. I just want to check that people can hear me well enough. Let's check our posture again. It's checking that the head is nicely balanced across the shoulder girdle so that the weight of the head is carried throughout the center of the body. Arms and hands relaxed. feeling your body connected with the seat or the cushion. The contact of the feet with the floor. So what we're aiming to do in this next practice is to focus more on breathing. So let's begin first by noticing the breath at the tip of the nostrils. If you can't breathe through the nostrils or one's blocked, you may need to breathe through the mouth. Just notice the sensation of the breath as you're breathing in and breathing out. So for this exercise, not suggesting that you follow the breath into the lungs. It's really about focusing at one point, being around the tip of the nostrils. Or if you're breathing through the mouth, then the sensation, a movement of air across the lips. You may notice the slightly cool air as you're breathing in. The slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. And as we move through this practice, at any stage where the mind wanders and is taken off into stories, as it often is, with great kindness to oneself, invite your attention to come back simply to that sensation of the breath. Your breath as the air moves in. You may notice the slight pause between the end of the inhalation and of the exhalation, and the pause at the end of that cycle. And what we're doing is paying attention to the very subtle sensations as you're breathing in and out. With a focus on the mood, the sensation of the air, be it warm or cold, the opening of your nostrils. The mind is very busy, sometimes busier for a stressful day, for a long day. Just notice if the mind has wandered off from the point of concentration. You may like to just experiment with counting. So I invite you to just try this. As you inhale and exhale, mentally count each inhalation and exhalation together as one. And if you manage to do that once, you might like to move on to the next cycle as two, maybe moving up to 5. And if the mind wanders, simply start at 1 again. Even if you never get past 2, not a problem. Point is to train your mind to focus on one point only. And if you happen to reach 5, and maybe over time that's something that's achievable, then count your way back down to 1. And now, as we bring this practice to a close, I invite you to take a few deep breaths, no more than 3, just imagining that you're breathing into your belly like blowing up a balloon, a gentle breath. And as you exhale, make it a little slower. Than the inhalation. And now I invite you to recall the intention, the motivation you set at the beginning of the session tonight. And dedicate any benefits of your practice tonight, the benefits to yourself and to others. Perhaps if we can move out in groups of 4, there's a lot of us here tonight in a very small reception area.